Welcome back to Topless Government. I am Crystal Ellerby, your podcast host. We're going to just go into this made my day. It made my day last week. Y'all know what happened last week. It was the 50th anniversary of Schoolhouse Rock. Those of you that don't know, I guess people, millennials and Generation Xers, y'all don't know about this, but Generation X, we do. We grew up on this. 1973, people. 1973, Schoolhouse Rock premiered on ABC. Back in those days, we only had, how many channels? 3. ABC, CBS, and NBC. And then we had, those other little channels on that. I guess it's called UHZ channels, whatever. I don't know. I'm just spouting off. I'm just shooting from the hip today. But I want to talk about this because in my introductions in the first season of my podcast, I always say that Topless Government is a cross between Schoolhouse Rock and Civics for the Masses. My Citizen Legislators, we got some dumb goddamn people in this country. I'm just going to say it. I bless your heart, and I know Southerners, I know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be polite. Well, no, I'm not. Because you know what? The mess that we have been in politically in this country is because people truly do not understand how their government works. And I think a lot of y'all need to go back and look at Schoolhouse Rock. Go on YouTube. Actually, why don't you go on Amazon and purchase them? Purchase those episodes. But go on YouTube, because I got to tell you, Schoolhouse Rock, Generation X, my generation owes this series, this animated series, a great deal. I ain't lying to you. If it weren't for Schoolhouse Rock, I would have never known about the preamble to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, how a bill becomes a law, conjunction, junction, what's your function, adverbs, multiplication. Come on, people. I grew up on this, and that's why y'all probably, as you're listening to me, like, this girl touch. I'm like, no, I'm not. There are a few things in this world that make me happy. Having, Tiffany and Company jewelry is one thing, but being educated, but also having it be fun. That's what this is about. It just makes my heart sing. It just does. It just really, really does. So last Wednesday, ABC did a sing-along for the 50th anniversary of Schoolhouse Rock. Now, Ryan Seacrest was the host. I don't know why, but he's trying to be the new Dick Clark. I'm like, okay, whatever. I got over that real quick. But I did watch, the 50th anniversary sing-along, and it brought back so many memories. And also, before Wednesday evening, when it came on at 8 o'clock on ABC, and then the next day it came on Hulu, I got to tell you, I went on TikTok for 3 minutes to let my followers know. And a lot of them were really, really excited, and they remembered. So I'm dedicating this episode to Schoolhouse Rock because I want to delve into it, a little bit, because look, it was great. It was great. So look, last Wednesday, February 3rd, 2023, celebrated my favorite Saturday morning television show, Schoolhouse Rock. I hope y'all watched it. If y'all didn't, go back. If y'all go on Hulu, if you can find somebody's password, whatever, go ahead and do it. Let me digress a little bit, because I heard today Netflix is, they clamping down on using passwords, people. It's coming to the States real soon, because right now, in Spain and Canada, they are stopping it. But I don't know how they're going to really enforce this shit, because it's kind of stupid. Because they had one woman on the Today Show. They asked her, they said, so, do you subscribe to Netflix? And she was like, no. They're like, well, whose password are you using to log in? Now get this, I ain't making this up. My boyfriend's best friend's mother. Really? Okay, this is what I don't understand. Now I do the premium package because it's $15.99. I don't want commercials. If I wanted commercials, I would use broadcast TV. But this child, oh my God, cheap. I'm sorry, cheap. So they asked her the question like, well, with all of this going on with the password, clamp down, would you subscribe? Because they got basic, but you're going to get commercials. She said no. You know what? I don't understand people being cheap. I really don't. I mean, if you want Netflix, I have Netflix for the following reason. Bridgerton. That's all I'm going to say. Bridgerton. That's about it. But one other thing that I did find out when I was doing some research for my show notes for this episode, there was We the People, a new animated series that debuted back in July 4th, 2021. It was executive produced by Barack and Michelle Obama and the creator of Blackish. I gotta tell you, We the People, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I watched one episode last night, The Three Branches of Government. Yeah, bless their hearts. It doesn't, I'll just put it to you. You know how when you just cram everything in at once, because it was only 5 minutes. The music was fine, because it had, Lin-Manuel Miranda and David, from Hamilton fame. And then they had someone from, the songwriters from Frozen. I tried to like it. I don't. They had 10 episodes the first season. That was the only season, and I get why it was the only season. I really do, because it wasn't to my taste. It just wasn't. I mean, I know others thought it was good because it was current, and I know a lot of people, have said in social media that Schoolhouse Rock was dated. I'm like, yeah, because it was created back in the damn 70s, and they said that they missed a lot of issues and stuff. They never talked about immigration, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care. Here's the thing. Schoolhouse Rock was magical for the following reason. You could actually follow it from beginning to end, and you actually learned something. Novel idea, don't you think, people? But anyway, so look, my citizen legislators, all I'm going to tell you is this. I enjoyed Schoolhouse Rock. I still, on occasion, will go on YouTube to watch some of the episodes, just to refamiliarize myself with my childhood. I mean, full disclosure, because I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I'm 56. Black don't crack. And I look good. Gray hair and all. I look good. But look, all I'm going to tell you is this. This was a great show because it took the time. The creator of the show, David McCall, from what I learned when I was doing research on this animated series, his son was struggling with multiplication. I've been there. My mother and father got me like this multiplication device, if you could call it that. And it actually helped me. But this is the reason why David McCall started Schoolhouse Rock. Because his son was having difficulty learning, his multiplication tables. And you know what? We've all been there. I mean, those of you that have, young kids in elementary school, secondary school, they're struggling. I mean, I would highly recommend watching Schoolhouse Rock, the multiplication episode. I mean, I think like the first season of the episodes, like the first episode, My Hero Zero. I'm loving this. I am so here for this. And look, the second episode of season 1, Elementary, My Dear. And okay, with the first episode, My Hero Zero, why Zero is a hero in multiplication. Elementary, My Dear. Noah's Ark teaches the multiplication of 2. Remember, y'all go back to the Bible. 2 by 2, 2 by 2 on the ark. And episode 3. 3 is a magic number. I can't make this up. My Citizen Legislators. Oh my God. I mean, it's just like a magician digs deep into his top hat, my people, that proves 3 is a magic number. I could go a little sideways on that. I really could. But y'all, threesome. Let me move on. Episode 4, The Four-Legged Zoo. A field trip to the zoo is fun and educational. Look, all I'm telling you is this. These were really good shows. Episode 5. Ready or Not, Here I Come. And you're doing multiplications of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Multiplying by 5s. I got 6. That was episode 6. I can't make this up. See, this is what I'm talking about. It was creative. It made kids want to watch this on Saturday morning. Because come on, y'all. Every Saturday morning when I was growing up, I was watching Flash Gordon, Star Trek, the animated series. But when Schoolhouse Rock came on, I was revving it. I sat there and I watched it. And all I'm telling you, this show I don't want to call it a throwback from yesteryear, but I know a lot of y'all will think that Schoolhouse Rock is still relevant. It is. It's still relevant because kids are still struggling. Particularly, through the pandemic, even though the emergency declaration is going to end May 11th, and I ain't even going to go into that because when that's over, no more free COVID testing. We got to pay for that. But look, it will help. I think a lot of kids now could benefit from this. And particularly, I think they could benefit from the civics aspect of this animated series. Because, look, if you don't make stuff fun for kids, I'm going to drop the F-bomb because this is true. We fucked as a country. We already are, as is. Because of everything that's going on, the civil unrest, the culture wars of a so-called, the grand old party. You mean the grand old crazy party? Because that's what they are. I think civics needs to, I know civics needs to come back into our schools. Because if we don't teach our children how our government works, where they going to learn it from? Where they going to learn it from? That's one of the reasons why, at the behest of my podcast director, I started going on TikTok. TikTok is actually more influential, with all ages than Facebook is. Instagram is right up there. And I know a lot of y'all about to say, well, China is using the data, Prove it to me. Because I just want to talk about one thing that I saw on LinkedIn. There was his brother. He is doing his content. He was spelling out how people should utilize TikTok. And a lot of people started spouting off, it's the whole mega rhetoric. Oh, yeah, thank you so much for being in China's pocket. You know what? I'm sorry, kiss it. Until you prove otherwise, just because y'all think that the majority stakeholder in that company are from China, y'all automatically think that the Chinese government is controlling everything. I could say the same thing for the state of Florida and Governor DeSantis and what he's trying to do. He's literally trying to get rid of Black history. So y'all go there with me about TikTok. I'm like, do it. You need to understand something. Y'all spout off. You regurgitate what other people are saying. Think. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Or better yet, free your mind and your ass will follow. That's what y'all need to start doing. And again, this is where Schoolhouse Rock comes into play. It is, it's unfiltered, it's unbiased, it's not even partisan. It's nonpartisan. It helps you learn the practical things of life. Your multiplications, conjunction, junction. I mean, I could. Y'all don't want me to start singing this because I will do it in a minute. But look, all I'm telling you is this. This is my favorite animated series that was educational. And it taught me a lot. It taught my generation a lot. And I hope that you will utilize this tool, because I utilize it in my podcast. Because again, I want to teach you how your government works. One of the things that I was talking to my podcast producer about before I started recording this episode is that, I've started like listening to a lot of different podcasts, particularly the ones that are political in nature. And I gotta honestly tell you, they talk about current events, which is fine. It's fine, but I want them to start talking about how certain things get done in our government, particularly in the legislative branch, in the executive branch, and the judicial branch. And I'm talking about the three branches of government. I'm like, it's nice to have politicians on, policymakers, those that are in the Biden administration, those that are subject matter experts, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But I think now is the time to educate my fellow Americans and my fellow citizen legislators. Y'all need to be educated in an unfiltered way. I mean, look, I give my opinion on my podcast because this is my damn podcast and I can do what I want because I'm a grown woman. But the thing is, I try and give you, multiple sides. I mean, because I'm multifaceted. Women of color are multifaceted. But I digress. This is an opportunity for me to extend my knowledge of over 25 years. I'm paying this forward. Because I'm serious. I'm paying this forward. I'm paying this forward because politics, government and politics has always been a passion of mine. I mean, it has. It's been a passion of mine, as well as public speaking. I mean, I minored in speech communications at the University of Maryland at College Park. I like talking with people. I like to actually, extend my knowledge to folks and letting them know like what's going on. I mean, because that's who I am. I want to let people know what resources are out there. And that's what Topless Government, the podcast, is about. Because if you notice in my show notes, I give you a lot of links to different articles and stuff. And even during my podcast, I tell you about where you should go, like on congress.gov. It's a free website where you can go and search bills, from previous Congresses and even from the present Congress, the 118th Congress that has been in session since January 3rd. But technically, they really didn't start doing legislative business until, I guess, January 7th or January 9th. January 9th is when, they voted on the rules package. But, look, this is an opportunity for you to just learn. And that's why this episode is dedicated to Schoolhouse Rock, because it's 50 years. I mean, come on. 50 years. I mean, and, it's just, it gratifies me to know that, it's still alive and kicking. And, from 1973, it just, like I said, it was from 1973 to 1985. And then 1992 to 2000. And then it went direct to video in 2009. But look, I mean, you know what? ABC, I got to tell you, thank you so much for just having the foresight to see that this animated series would do wonders, to everybody. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm sorry. No, I ain't sorry. But the first season had 11 episodes. And then it went on from there. And, if you notice in my show notes, I mean, I have the first season, all the episodes, it was 11 episodes in the first season. And it was dedicated to multiplication because, again, the creator David McCall, his son was struggling with multiplication. I mean, go figure. You have a parent who went this far to help his child out. I mean, think about that. I mean, this is just like, this was a labor of love for David McCall. And you know, and it's a labor of love for me because I always go back to, you know, I'm just a bill here on Capitol Hill, and how they, you know, they take you step by step on how a bill becomes a law from beginning to end. That's what I'm saying. And, you know, and that's why I'm so disappointed in We the People, the Netflix show. I'm so disappointed in it. I mean, like I said, I only watched one episode. I may try and go back and watch another, but I don't know if I can, to be perfectly honest. I mean, they have an immigration episode. I mean, these episodes are 5 minutes. And I know it's supposed to be positive in nature and reflective, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, they try and capture too much. This is what they're trying to do, to be perfect. They're trying to make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy. You can't. Why? Why would you try and make everybody happy? Because when you try and make everybody happy, that's when things go sideways. It should have been something simple and easy. Now, don't get me wrong. The music is phenomenal. You know, excuse me, HER, she's on there. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I expected a little bit more from our former president and first lady and the creator of Blackish. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. I mean, I'm assuming that a lot of you will probably disagree with me. I mean, this is just my own opinion. I was just like, wow. I mean, because afterwards I was like, I was stunned. I mean, I sat there for a little bit and I was like, that was it? I'm like, that ain't... I was trying not to compare, but you can't help compare. Truly. I mean, I was just so disappointed. But again, I mean, I'll try and watch some other episodes, but again, I'm like, I don't know. Because I thought Kenya Barris was going to be better than that. I really did, but I don't know. You can't always get what you want. You know, that's from a Rolling Stones song. I mean, I don't know my Citizen Legislators, but look, I just wanted to celebrate an animated series that just went out of its way to be relevant, educational, fun, and those songs, a lot of us remember those songs. We really, really do. Not all by heart, but we remember them. And see, and that's the thing, because I'm going to be honest. The We the People animated series on Netflix, I don't remember. I mean, let me think. Do I remember the catchy songs and, you know, the 3 branches of government? No, I don't, actually. I don't. And I retain information pretty damn good. Yeah, I don't. Because it wasn't catchy. It was trying to be too fly, if you know what I mean. You know, and it's just like, I don't know. I guess they thought that it was trying to be a Broadway musical. Yes. That's what it's trying to be. A Broadway. I'm like, you got Lynn, you know, man, whatever his name is. I mean, whatever. He good with Hamilton. I'm like, I'm going to find The Heights, whatever. But, I mean, for a 5-minute short animated episode, it just didn't, it fell flat for me. It just did. I mean, and I hate to keep harping on it, but I know it was done with good intentions, but y'all just bring back Schoolhouse Rock. Just bring it back. Just bring it back. Or just, you know, like what they did on the 50th anniversary special. You know, I loved the way that they went about and doing the songs, and they kind of like reinterpreted them, so to speak. But I actually liked it. I mean, it was just like seeing the live versions of the animated series. It was quite interesting. I mean, it really, really was. I mean, I hope that, you know, they'll bring Schoolhouse Rock back to ABC. That would be so much fun. I mean, look, it's really needed now, because right now we are living in uncivil times. And, people are just, there's no civility in politics. There just isn't. Because I know y'all saw the shit show Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. I just was like, okay, y'all gonna treat the president of the United States like that. And then the speaker just sat there like, yeah. But look, I'm gonna say this again. I hope that you watched the 50th anniversary special of Schoolhouse Rock, because it just brings a smile to my face. It just does. And I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, because I just wanted to dedicate the episode to Schoolhouse Rock, and to tell you a little bit about the first season and why, the reasons behind it, that they created it. And we have a lot to thank David McCall for. We really, really do. Because they did a really good job. It was very, very creative. It was very, very creative. And even this is going to go on another 50 years, I hope. I hope this never dies and it never goes away, and that it's always brought back up and people can reminisce their childhood and just say, yeah, I learned my multiplications. Schoolhouse Rock, preamble of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, the legislative process of how a bill becomes a law. Electricity, nutrition. Come on. It just runs the gambit. I really hope that you will enjoy this episode, because this is something that I really wanted to do. And I got to give the hat tip to my girl, Marsha Burton, who's living in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for letting all of us know on Facebook, because I had no idea until I saw your Facebook post. And I really appreciate you letting me know about this. And again, this podcast is dedicated to Schoolhouse Rock, because Schoolhouse Rock rocks. And remember, my citizen legislators, my podcast is a cross between Schoolhouse Rock and civics for the masses. On that note, thank you so much for listening, watching. I really hope that you will respond favorably to this podcast, this episode of my podcast. And I want you to subscribe, rate, and review the show. Also, if you would like for me to discuss some other topics within the legislative process, please let me know. Reach out to me at toplessgovernment@gmail.com. Follow me on TikTok. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. I have 21 videos out there. And actually one of them, I just saw this morning. It was the one that I did back in December. I think it was like December 21st or December 23rd, when the House and Senate completed its business on the FY23 Consolidated Appropriations Bill. You're not going to believe this. Over 8,000 people have watched that one video. 8,000 people. Mwah! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's just a 3-minute video. And I just let y'all know, that the bill passed and, what was in it. Look, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to educate you about how your government works, particularly on, major pieces of legislation, whatever. And this year, you know what? Farm Bill reauthorization. Got to talk about that. The National Defense Authorization Act has to be reauthorized again. So I want to talk about that. But let me know, if there's any topics that you want to, discuss, that you want me to discuss, please let me know. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge with you, and particularly my love of politics, because, I love politics. So I look forward to geeking out with you again. Thank you. Peace out. Drop mic.